At last, I can finally breathe. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has been consuming my life for the past month. It's one of those rare games where I have little self-control over turning off the Switch and calling it a day. This game is just so easy to get lost in. Its prequel, Breath of the Wild, was an outstanding game, and somehow Tears of the Kingdom manages to improve this winning formula in just about every way. My only question is, where does the series go from here? Before we get into the review, if you liked this video, it would help me out a lot to hit that like button. Also, let me know what you thought about Tears of the Kingdom. Is it your favourite Zelda game? Because it probably is mine. Alright, let's get into it. Tears of the Kingdom looks and feels just like Breath of the Wild did, and this makes sense since it's a sequel. Visually, it is stunning, even though there are some clear performance issues once in a while, mainly in the form of pop-ups and frame rate drops. Put it this way, I've seen a lot worse, and given that the game is highly ambitious and on older, less powerful hardware, I can't complain too much. So, Tears of the Kingdom takes place a short time after its predecessor. All is well in the Kingdom of Hyrule, until it's not. There is an unknown substance seeping from beneath Hyrule Castle, leading Link and Zelda to investigate the caverns beneath the castle. Here, the two find a mummified Ganondorf who proceeds to shatter the Master Sword, give Link an awesome tattoo, and wreak havoc on the world above. Link and Zelda get separated, and the majority of the game involves tracking her down and returning Hyrule back to the way it was. Seriously, this girl needs one of those GPS ankle bracelets. I really liked the story here, and it's up there with one of my favourites in the series. I had a great time travelling the lands once again, seeing familiar faces and learning about what happened to Zelda. Her story can be revealed through finding dragon tears hidden throughout the world.
I am the daughter of King Rome of Hyrule, Zelda.
What an unexpected answer.
Most of the main scenes are voiced, but I do wish the series would evolve into full voice acting. The series has been using ahs and ohs for its dialogue for a long time now. I know it's a bit of a staple of the series, but I do feel that this is one area that the series could grow, especially since there are so many quirky characters. Tears of the Kingdom is exceptional in so many ways, but the one area that it truly excels in is its exploration. There is something to explore and find around every corner, and even after putting in well over 100 hours, I still feel that I've only scratched the surface. There is an endless loop of distractions. You see a shrine, then on the way there you find a cave, then you follow that cave and come out to a new area to explore and see something odd in the distance. While running there, you see a shiny horse that you want to catch, only to be distracted by another shrine. It is just a never-ending cycle of exploration and discovery, and this makes it perhaps the best open-world exploration ever. Exploration also goes hand in hand with making Link stronger. This obviously isn't your typical RPG with character levels and growth mechanics, yet the amount of things that you can do to increase Link's strength is absolutely mind-blowing. You can increase your total hearts or stamina through completing shrines. You can find new armor pieces and collect monster parts to upgrade the armor. You can find new weapons as well as Kurok seeds to increase equipment slots. You can travel the depths to upgrade your battery cells. You can take on quests to unlock new abilities for your Zonai arm. There is so much to do, and this makes exploration so rewarding. To be honest, the exploration was just as good in Breath of the Wild, but this time things are bigger and better. For the most part, the world is the same with minor differences here and there. This time, however, we have two entirely new areas to explore, the sky and the depths. The sky areas feature a load of floating islands that can be reached through various creative methods. Then there's the depths, which are absolutely massive. In fact, it's close to the same size as the surface. Exploring this area, however, requires a different approach entirely. You can reach different areas of the depths through finding chasms on the surface. Some are clearly marked on the map, but others are hidden. The first thing you'll notice is that it is incredibly dark down there, making exploration very difficult. To explore efficiently, you're going to need to light the place up by finding light routes. This isn't something that you can achieve in one sitting. You'll need to spend dozens of hours if you want to light up the entire depths. I really love Tears of the Kingdom's new sky and depths areas. It really helps ensure that the game feels fresh, especially if you've recently sunk hundreds of hours into exploring Breath of the Wild's world. Another major addition to Tears of the Kingdom is its building mechanics. By using the Zonai arm, Link can fuse hundreds of different objects together for countless effects. This of course means that there are a million different ways to do things. In this example, I could probably construct something to fly me to the top of this island, but instead I decided to attach several planks of wood together and just run to the top. I felt like half the time I achieved my goals by doing things the unintended way, but it worked and I was happy, and this is just bloody great game design. I'll also say that one of my favorite things right now is checking out what crazy things other people have made. The possibilities really are endless. Zelda games have always been next level in its puzzles, but I think that Tears of the Kingdom takes things to another level due to the ability to fuse these objects together. This is perhaps best highlighted in the 152 shrines that all present different puzzles and make you think in different ways. While the puzzle solving was a highlight of the game, something that was a tad disappointing was that there are still only a handful of traditional dungeons to work through. After Breath of the Wild, I really hoped there would be more this time around, but in terms of quantity, there was pretty much the same. Combat in Tears of the Kingdom is what you would expect from a Zelda game. It's the same basic system that hasn't really evolved for quite some time. The same considerations as Breath of the Wild need to be taken into account, and this includes a weapon's durability. Weapons will constantly be breaking, but I didn't have a problem with this time around due to being able to fuse an item or an object to your weapon. This not only increases the attack power, but it also can create some pretty awesome effects. For instance, you could fuse a fire type item to your sword to inflict fire damage, or even a log to the end of a spear to make a weapon with insane range. You can also do some pretty crazy things to your shield, such as attaching a rocket allowing you to burst up in the air. The boss fights here were a bit hit and miss in my opinion. Aside from the final boss, none of them really stood out for me. This is partly due to them never really posing a challenge, since I could just eat a near infinite supply of food to top up my health when needed. Battles in the depths do get a bit trickier though, as your hearts will be temporarily sealed when you take damage. The most significant addition to the combat is the ability to fight alongside other characters. After completing each major dungeon, the related character will join you on your journey. These AI-controlled characters not only attack enemies with you, but they also provide a unique ability to use in battle. Tulin can unleash a gust of wind, which is also great for aerial traversal. Riju will cause lightning bolts to rain down where your arrow hits. Sidon will provide a defensive water barrier, and Yunobo will curl up in a ball and launch forward into your enemies. Having these extra abilities at your disposal was a great idea, but unfortunately, it was pulled off horribly. You see, to activate one of these abilities, you need to be standing next to the character. I cannot count the amount of times I was running around aimlessly looking for them in order to activate their abilities. Often they were all clumped up too, making it impossible to choose a specific ability to use. And Riju, bloody Riju, don't get me started on her. She is a melee character with a ranged ability, meaning to activate it, you would need to run to the front lines, then run back again, probably getting hit in the process. These abilities are already on a cooldown, so why couldn't there just be an ability wheel? Look, I love what they tried to do here, but it needed to be a lot better. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite Zelda game. It took everything I loved about Breath of the Wild and made it bigger and better. The game is in a league of its own when it comes to exploration. The world is massive, especially with the addition of the sky and the depths. There is an unbelievable amount of things to do within these vast lands. Like I said before, I've played it for over 100 hours, but I feel that this is just the tip of the iceberg. The Zelda series is also known for its puzzles, and Tears of the Kingdom did not disappoint. Puzzle solving this time around is taken to a whole new level with the fusing mechanics. This allows for multiple ways to solve each given problem. My only real issue with the game is the party member mechanics. Activating the intended ability when needed is made far more difficult than it should be. Tears of the Kingdom is a must-play game, but my only question is, where to from here? I don't want another sequel, as I think things would start to become a bit repetitive. Does the world get bigger? I don't think it needs to be, as it's pretty damn big the way it is. Maybe it should just revert to a more traditional experience with smaller connected areas and more dungeons. Where do you think the series should go from here? Let me know in the comments below. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, it would help me out a lot to hit that like button and sub for more content. Also, hit the super thanks if you'd like to support the channel. See you next time.